The stock of the day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. Trade over 17,000 markets with extended trading hours on key US shares and competitive spreads, all on an award-winning platform. Get started at IG.com.
And our stock of the day is Regal Partners. It has topped $17 billion in funds under management as its takeover talks with fellow wealth giant Platinum Asset Management. They advanced with the two groups entering due diligence this week. Platinum will allow its would-be acquirer to take a look at its books in the hopes that the due diligence process could result in a higher bid. And last month, the Platinum board rejected Regal's initial offer of 0.274 of its shares for every Platinum share plus a 20-cent special dividend. And the Platinum's board has said it is open to offers from third parties there. So, Mark, what do you make? Is that, do you think they're going to get it across the line?
Look, I mean, I think it's a bit of a, it's the old and the new, really. Yeah. And as I've always said in regards to these fund managers, it's a popularity contest generally. And I think Regal Partners have been very aggressive. But obviously they're trying to pick up economies of scale. I don't think Platinum's been, the performance hasn't been particularly great recently. It'd probably be a great result for them, I guess, and I suppose Regal picks up, as I said, economies of scale, probably some infrastructure. There'll be some cost cutting and things like that as well. So they won't need to they won't be keeping double the team. So it's probably not too. I think Platinum's had outflows as well. So it coming under the popular fund managers banner is probably going to help stem that flow as well. So Regal and GQG are the only two fund managers we're remotely considering at the moment. And apart from the fact they've done pretty well, they've been the ones that have been attracting all the inflows. So yeah, they'd be the only two I'd be considering really. And as I said, Regal's doing a little bit of that roll up, and I think they'll probably. It will benefit them I think it benefits both parties as a pair. Regal can probably pass, to be honest, and still go forward. Whereas I think Platinum's probably more. I think they'd be a little bit more desperate for the deal, I would have thought. Absolutely. So yeah, I dare say it'd be the sort of thing that will go through.
So what would you do with Regal then?
Look, I'd still probably. We don't tend to recommend fund managers, but the GQG and Regal tend to be the two that we're happy to hold. But obviously the risk is outflows or redemptions are the enemy of fund managers. So if there is any pullback after this election, or we've had the best first 9 months of a year in the US stock market since 1996 or something. So. Right. We are due for some form of pullback, whether it's a significant pullback or not. But if Middle East is happening, the US debt spiralling, they've started to cut rates, which generally isn't great for the market in the US overall on a statistical basis. So that'll probably pull people back a little bit. It's probably nearing the end of a bull run, I guess, medium term. So. Those inflows might not necessarily continue to just keep ploughing in. So we'll, I hold it best for me. Yep. But if you are going to pick one of those fund managers, Regal or GQG.
Yeah, I mean, Adam, we've seen fundies, they've all been under pressure, haven't they? Particularly look at that share price and Regal's fallen a long way from its peak.
Yeah, I think Phil King's got the view that it's going to be growth by acquisition. He took over VGI earlier this year.
It was a backdoor listing kind of thing, yeah.
So he's growing his fund that way to a large degree. Obviously inflows are the key, and at 17 billion he's certainly a huge force in the Australian market, especially for cap raises and anything. Basically Regal's in anything that moves they're in for a cap raise, and certainly have actually thrown a lifeline to a couple of companies that really needed capital. And they were able to support them at that sort of those later stages of a cap raise where they had no money. So, yeah, he does have a place in the market. And look, Platinum definitely needs a lifeline. There's something that needs to happen. Gone are the days of Keir Nielsen and that rock star status, and I think that's where Phil sort of does come in. So I'll stick with a buy on Regal. I think that as totally what Mark has said, you've got to look at inflows and there's only 2 of them that are getting inflows at the moment, and we really need to basically, that's where you want to be putting your money if you are doing it. Be careful, obviously there's a fair bit of money that needs to be paid out, and so that's going to keep the Regal share price pretty flatline. But over time, as more fund gets managed and gets put on, I think these guys will do pretty well.
That is our stock of the day, Regal.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Trade over 12,000 shares and ETFs, including major tech giants with extended hours on an award-winning platform. Get started at ig.com.